Right at it. Right at it. Oh, he's done it again. Just as he did at the John Deere for his first win.
Welcome to episode 189 of the Go Get That podcast. Happy to be back with my companions, Dan and Bob, as we are back to recap the RBC Heritage, along with, I guess it was the conclusion of a 3-week stretch for Jordan Spieth, our guy, that didn't go very well. Started at Valero at the Texas Open. There were obviously high hopes there. Augusta went, I guess, okay. And then this week, I coined it a disaster after 36 holes, and it's, I think, pretty tough to disagree with that. But we'll chat it up. There was, some good. There's quite a bit of bad. And where does that, leave us kind of at the halfway point of the season?
A disaster of the highest degree. I it's there's no way that it can be this with the golf that's being golfed. It just can't. It's a different thing every week. We have gotten more contention to this point in the last 3 years with a much worse golf. And granted, that is one or two times to this point, but that's more than zero. And I mean, it's an incredible lack of scoring ability. What can go wrong will go wrong on the scorecard. It's just incredibly frustrating and disappointing to see him waste such good peaks at certain points of his games. Because again, like the guys, these won't like the iron play at Augusta and the weeks leading up to it. Even the irons at some points this week, like that's not sustainable every week. It's going to regress. I mean, you can win with much worse irons than that, of course, but it's going to regress. And the best thing we got out of it was a non-competitive T12, which is really like a T25, because the Masters has some laughable competitors. So, yeah, I think it's incredibly disappointing. Made the mistake of not making plans on the weekend. Think that I was able to find replacements, but it's just like you can't. I mean, you can make plans pretty freely on the weekends right now. It's just he's just not getting anything out of the first 2 days, and it's really just hasn't been that bad of golf. So yeah, I don't really know where we go from here. I think the only positive I'll take from the last 3 weeks is that it does sort of seem like he is back to being a good golfer. Like I don't think we're going to see many. I don't really see this being a disaster anywhere in the near future in terms of finish. Like I don't see like a 3 miscut streak and terrible golf for weeks on end. But I mean, who knows? It's as you said, you put the stat. This is one of his best years um, putting since when, and one of his best years iron since when, and he's got nothing to show for it. So yeah, it's pretty depressing.
I was just about to say, I think what's going to be so fascinating looking back on this year is the lack of contention with the numbers, like the overall numbers that come with the play this year, because the peaks have been high. They was first this week in putting. You flip that with the Masters, and there's a decent chance the green jacket is around the shoulders of the Texan once again. The iron play regressed. It was his first week with the irons where it was below field average since prior to the Genesis. So it was a good run there. I think I'm not too concerned about that. I think it's just not taking advantage of pop weeks with the putter. I mean, lead the field in putting and you're T33 in a no cut event. Like he would have missed the cut had there been a cut. And that is it happens. Bad weeks happen. I think the 3-wood has got to go to um the worst of places that Earth has to offer. I don't understand how a professional golfer who's signed with Titleist and has all the access to the tools in the pre-week hits a club that is just not fit for a player like him. I don't know how many big balls were hit with the hybrid and the 3-wood this week, and even some with the driver, but I think it's because he was trying to squeeze cuts in the places with drivers that it really should just be 3-woods and didn't trust the 3-wood. So that's disappointing. I did some digging here too, just to kind of wrap up my initial thought with the putter, because it was a really good week with the putter. Any guesses on where this ranks in his career for a putting performance?
Wow. I know it's the best year of the season, which kind of
Well,
funny.
this
Go ahead.
event specifically, not necessarily like how the putting over the course of this year ranks relative to his career, but for every event he's ever
Yeah.
played, like
This was the best event of 2026 for Spieth,
correct. Yeah.
which is funny because I thought he putted better at Riviera. It just felt like that to me, maybe because he was further up the board.
Yeah.
But anywho, to answer your original question, it's got to be top five. I mean,
Bob, do you have a
it's
guess?
I'm still confused with the question. Is this event?
So this week he gained 2.12 strokes per round with the putter. Where does that rank in every event he's ever played? How high is that on the list?
I mean, 2015, like who knows what those numbers were like. I don't have enough of a data golf like compare a tool in my brain.
compared.
Um,
I was a
but
li- I was a little surprised. Jordan, you're pretty close. It's
yeah,
sixth.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's top 10. Yeah, I don't really have a guess then. I mean,
I think
Sixth all time.
the funny thing is, I don't know if he
that's
won
a
any of those
hoax.
that were in the top five. I know
That's a
he's had some
hoax.
putting. I mean, the
I
PGA in 19
Yeah. So the top five would be uh, the 2015 Valero 2.49,
lost.
which was a solo two. Uh, it would be the 2016 Dean and DeLuca. So the Chuck Schwab at
Champion.
2.34 champion. It would be so the other time he gained over two in 2017 was at Pebble, a win. Didn't do it in 2018. 2019 did it thrice. A missed cut at the Players, the T3 at the PGA, and the T6 at the Northern Trust. And then 2020, the T10 at the Schwab to open back post COVID was the last time he had gained uh, over 2 shots putting until
Wow.
this week.
Putter's
So,
good.
I mean, it's the volatility is unbelievable. And you're going to look back at this year and see the stats, and he might be green across the board. And it's going to be like, oh, and he's the 35th best player in the world because he cannot find a way to have a week where the iron play is as sharp as the putter.
How many strokes putting did he gain on the weekend?
Quite a few. I think,
I was gonna say because I didn't really watch on the weekend. Nothing blew me away about the putting the first 2 days.
so I think part of it too is that it wasn't like he was hooping a lot of long ones. But it was really a bunch of nice par saves is what it was. A bunch of 8-footers went in. And then Saturday got off to a bit of a shaky start, didn't it? But I think he had like 8 putts through the first 7 holes and just kind of carried that momentum. And then of course missed a 5-footer on 18 to finish the round. And that kind of sums it up too, I think, a little bit is like there's no ability to carry momentum. sort of to your point, Bob, though, it's like his floor is higher. Like there's no doubt about that, that like the really bad is for 18 holes. The really bad is not as bad as it's been in years past, in injured years past, maybe over half a decade ago now, 2020 to 2019. But some of the swings that are in there, the inability to maintain scores. Sunday was looking like it was going to be a score kind of out of nothing, an actual maximized score with the amount of birdies that were being put in from shots that were mediocre to say the least. And then of course water ball on 14, square on 17, inability to take care of the par five, missed a couple birdie putts elsewhere, and it's like, man, you look at 2 under when you had it to 9, and if you just hold serve there, you're looking at a top 15 for the week, and can kind of talk about this week in a slightly different light. But it's been a roller coaster for sure.
It was pretty embarrassing that it wasn't a top 20 with how hard it played on Sunday. I mean, he was at 9 and the top 20 was a 9 or 10. It was 9.
Top 20 was 9.
He had to play the back 9 and even par, and it played under par, and he couldn't do it. It's pretty funny. I want to kind of go back in time and look at all the episodes we've done this year, and we talk about the same damn things every single week because he doesn't. It's just been that way. I mean, the inability to put it all together, and I think I'm a little bit more concerned about the ball striking than maybe either of you are. We've seen this with Jordan before, and I think he's healthier now, so I have a little bit more confidence. But I go back to the 23 Wells Fargo at Quail. He was hitting it great that year up until that point. And then it fell apart at Quail, kind of, I think, a little bit similarly to this week. I mean, we'll see at Doral. And it never recovered after that week at Quail.
Yeah.
I get it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, didn't the wrist pop the next week?
I think it did, and that's time will tell. I think that Doral is going to be really big because I think it can get worse. I mean, we can get a week where that he's not first in putting and we get the ball striking that we got this week.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but I asked in chat, like going into Doral in a couple weeks, do you feel better about the approach play or the putter? And the putter, man, it's just you kind of said it, Dan. When the mechanics get off, it's terrible, but he fixed it and he's first in putting. It's like, why can't we do that? And I don't expect him to be first in putting every week, but there's certainly enough there to where he could be a very, very good putter. But we still get these really terrible weeks like we did at Augusta.
Yeah, and it is the same thing every week, and it's not funny at all, actually. It's just like, I mean, for the amount of time that we dedicate to this guy, like there you there's a way to work on scoring. Like you can't just sit back and see this happen for 5 weeks and just be like, well, the scores will come. Well, there's something you have to do about that to make the scores come. And he's not doing that off the golf course. And I don't know what it is. I'd assume a lot of it is the fact that I don't think he plays enough golf. I really think he hits for a lot of range balls. I don't think in his off weeks he's playing many rounds. I think he's spending most of his days at the range. And to me, range work is to fix something, not to build on it. Especially for a professional. For a professional, range work is to fix something and to warm up. It's not to keep, like, if you have a week off and you're hitting it well, like, he should be playing golf. I think that he's hitting too many driving range shots, too many driving range chips in his off weeks, if I had to guess, because I've never seen anything like this really with a PGA Tour player as talented, playing as well as he is. Do this many things right and never be able to put two of the four together. I mean, what I suggested right there could be completely wrong, but there's something he's doing in his routine that is a problem. That is a fact. You can't do this for 3 months and you can't do the same thing over and over again and expect it to change. If you're hitting it bad, it's one thing. If you're putting like shit, it's one thing. But he's been doing both of those well at different times, and the short game stinks. So, I mean, the short game was good on Thursday. Um, I don't really know how it was on the weekend, but it was good on Thursday.
Shit.
Yeah, it ended up
It's like
losing
it
for the week.
stinks. Like he like he's not like that's you like you score by making 8 footers for birdie and getting up and down when you hit bad shots. Every single person in the field makes bad shots. I mean, he'll hit these crazy recovery shots and then and gets it back into play. He has a 20-yard chip from the fairway, and then he misses a 5 footer and makes bogey anyways. When he could just taken a drop and made bogey the same way. It's like I don't know. I think that we are. I think he's a little bit too comfortable with the way he's playing right now. I think he's a little too naive to the fact probably that he's hitting the ball and like he's doing so many things right. And I think he kind of just expects them to kind of click. And I have a feeling that that's a preparation issue, not a not just getting unlucky.
It's a good point. I mean, you mentioned the routine. I mean, there's something wrong when you start fast, like 80% of your rounds, and you crap down your leg on the back nine. He does it every single week.
A
There's a round that
very
he does that.
consistent thing.
And it's
One of the
like,
few consistent things.
yeah, it's been very consistent, the craps down the legs. It's like, I mean, the bare minimum just shoot even on the back nine. I mean, you go out in 4 under and you shoot even on the back, that's fine. But he's given
Like
two away on a very easy side.
does
It's I
Spieth? I mean, it doesn't happen very often on practice weeks, but does Spieth ever play 18 holes in a row? Like he only plays 9 during tournament weeks.
yeah,
A lot of players will play 18 on Monday. He never does. And I like
the fair point.
it's just you play 27 holes in 3 days, spend 6 hours on the range, and then you play 72 holes in 4 days. I mean, like I
That's
don't know
not
what it
nothing.
is. I'm just saying it's a very consistent. It's just about the most consistent thing Spieth's done in his entire career.
Yeah.
This year, it's so I don't really know. I'm at a loss for words. That I mean, obviously the instructor needs to instruct, but um, I'd like to see, you know, why not go play the red tees at Trinity Forest and try and shoot 49? Like do something where you have to do something challenging, make a big putt on 15 and not 7, make a bogey on a Wednesday, like God forbid. And it's just like I don't know. I just think the routine to me is I mean, how did we watch him shoot 5 under on 9 holes in windy conditions at Portrush and then start 4 over through 8 in the tournament when technically not much was different?
There are
I like
no bogeys on that Wednesday.
practice rounds don't matter, but to me, every professional athlete says practice like you play. I
Yeah.
just don't think he's practicing with nearly the same mindset as he is when he plays. That's the difference. I don't think he's not trying. I just think he's playing with a completely different mindset.
Yeah, I think they matter. I mean, you go watch Scott. I know TaylorMade's done it before. They'll post like a Scotty practice round, like a 9 hole practice. He shoots like 6 under through 9. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Uh, Go ahead, Dan.
No, it's a good take. I think it's definitely contradictory to what the golfer himself is saying about where he's at, um, which I think is fair because I think the golfer looks at the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks and says, man, I played pretty well in 6 of them. And he got nothing out of them. We have zero top tens. We have zero taste of contention. He's probably been inside the top 10 of a leaderboard for like a total of 25 like real life minutes this season. And they were all at Pebble and they were quickly gone with bogeys on 8 and 9. The routine part's interesting to me. I'm not really sure what to make of that. I think it's just like obviously he can do at some point he's done everything really well this season for a stretch. And that's got to be frustrating to not be able to have it carry over. And so there's like well, how do you just get over that level of doing it over and over and over again and putting it all together? Um and yeah, maybe there needs to be some sort of tweak of like what the preparation looks like because obviously it's things aren't kind of finalizing the way that they should be. I mean, some of the results are there. I'm looking at these numbers and it's like, yeah, when you think about when you watch the golf, you're like, that was an 8-hole stretch where he did not miss a shot, but he missed every putt. Or that was an 8 or 9 hole stretch where, man, he didn't hit it great. The iron play was just good enough, but man, made a lot of those 6 to 8 footers, kept us in the round. It's like, just, yeah, it feels close, but also very far away. And that's sort of just the ultimate Spiethian assessment of Spieth. It's like
Yeah.
it's everything all at once. It's close, but it's not. He's back, but he's not. He's far away. And maybe it's just like maybe he's just a dude. Like maybe it really just is like the 30th best player in the world, which is pretty good. But it's like you look at the things that he does and you're like, that is not your typical 30th best player in the world.
No, I mean,
That is top 5 for that stretch. And I guess look, it is year 2 of 15.
My problem is if you're going to be the 30th best player in the world, you have to be able to spike once every 2 years. Speed hasn't spiked in 8 years. It's only been leading up wins. He's never just spiked.
He spikes but I think his spikes aren't weekly. They're just within rounds. Like he spikes for 7 holes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you want to be a successful 30th best player in the world, you need to pick off a win every 2 years.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd still argue he's like the 30th best. I mean, Data Golf has him at 32. And this is still just based on what he's been doing. Like, if you T12 every event you play, at some point you're probably just the 17th best player in the world, which feels weird because it's like, oh, here's a bunch of T12s, like consistent results. But how you get to the T12 is so drastically different every week. And it's frustrating because
I don't know.
You watch it with the eye test, like you're saying, Bob, and it's like, dude, like there should be a spike. The 30th best player in the world is somebody who wins once every 2 years. But in his case, like the spikes raise the floor somehow, and not the ceiling is where we're at.
And for me, that's just not like screw that. Like that's just not the. I mean, I look at golf in a very win or lose kind of way. I always kind of have on the PGA Tour. It's like for me, I mean, I'm taking players who win over players who are consistent. I think that's just who I am. There are plenty of players I'll take before poor Russ, but Russ Henley. I mean, Russ Henley's the fifth best player in the world, and he's won once in the last 2 years. That's just not that just doesn't do it for me.
Well, it
Like
doesn't
I,
work
that's
for
I
everyone.
like you win or you lose, and right now, I mean, I don't find T15s very entertaining to watch. Um, I'm okay if that's bad stretches, but like I'm okay if you have a bad stretch and then you get a T15 and you build momentum off it, fine. But if T15 is you playing your best golf and just not being able to score and not being able to put yourself in a position to win and not make that big putt, then I mean that's just not to me that's just not the type of golf I want to watch, and it's certainly not the type of golf he wants to play, I don't think. I mean there has to be something there where you know what you did 10 years ago. Like you have to know that like like he's definitely got a sort of an itch for that winning feeling again, you'd have to think. Um and I don't deny that, which is why I really do think it's coming down to something where I just think there's something that no one knows. Naive in whatever he's doing. That he hasn't figured out yet. And frankly, I'm a little afraid that he doesn't try enough to figure it out. Like he doesn't try enough different to figure it out. Um, so that's what scares me. I don't think he for someone like you look at Ricky Fowler, a much worse golfer than Jordan Spieth, but that guy will try a bunch of different things and then he'll be in contention for a weekend, and he doesn't win, but he's there. Um, but like that's after trying different things. I mean, it's like Ricky Fowler knows who he is, but he's not playing for T12s. He's missing the cut or he's 8 under through 2 rounds, and yeah, usually he finishes T40, but at least he's there. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's just this kind of golf. I mean, just get me the. I just hate it. It's the least favorite Jordan Spieth golf I think I've watched in his career, besides his injury year. It's just the least fun style of golf to watch. You look at all the years he was playing just much worse golf, and it's like he makes a 50-footer and then puts one out of bounds. At least that's exciting. Like, give me that at this point. I mean, 2019, he couldn't keep the ball in on the playing field, but then he'd make a 50-footer for bogey and then make a 40-footer for birdie to go even on the 2 holes. And he'd be leading through 2 rounds, and then he'd put one OB on Saturday. But like at least that's a scoring issue. He stunk. It's just I find it very hard that this is we're just so used to him being such an entertaining player. And if you started watching Jordan Spieth 2 years ago, you'd be like, well, what is this lore? Like all of his crazy like he doesn't have as many crazy escapes anymore because the driver's been better than it has been in the last 3 years. So he's not getting as many crazy places. He'll hit a great escape from nowhere greenside, dead, use his incredible feel and hands to put it to 8 feet, and then he'll miss the putt. Like it's like if you started watching Jordan Spieth 3 years ago, you would not think he's the entertaining player that we talk about.
Certainly wouldn't think he's entertaining this year because every bad drive
No,
hits a cart path and goes out of bounds and doesn't have a chance to hit a recovery shot, I would say.
no, and that's and I like the way he responded from that, and I don't think that really even bothered him. I was actually very happy with the way he handled that. But if I mean 4 doubles in the first 2 days, that wasn't really all scoring. He probably should have been. He did get a little unlucky, and he did just have some really bad swings. Okay, now you're what? Let's give him 4. Let's give him bogeys on those holes. So now he goes in the weekend
5 under.
5 under.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there. But actually, no, that isn't right there. That would have been 9 back.
But second
Typical.
was 10 under. I mean,
But for me, I just yearn for the excitement, the something to get amped up about because he can't even get through an 18-hole round right now without something that kills it. He
No,
can't even first round lead and give us
no,
something to be excited about.
not a lot of
no.
slow. I think part of the excitement comes when the lead is within sight. Like he's not out of the tournaments by Thursday, but it's like just you have to scroll a few pages to find
And
him.
it's always it's fast starts. I mean, he's probably been the favorite live first round leader probably 3 times this year. The amount of times he's been 4 under through 9.
Yeah.
I mean, and then he finishes 3 under, and 3 under on the PGA Tour is usually not within 3 going into the second round, and
No.
that's on a good finish. He usually finishes 1 or 2 under.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. I'm frustrated because it's like I mean I just want to feel something. I don't even like I can't even feel something overnight.
No.
Like we
I mean,
can't
you
even
feel
get 1
losing.
round to the house.
We're losers. Well, I got my White Sox hat on for those that can't see me. I mean, we're losers. I think Tiger used to say you win or you lose, and Spieth was 33rd loser this week. With 87 in a row losses. But yeah, I think when we get to Doral, I texted Dan this, I think. I mean, you guys have been hitting the nail on the head. He is a slow starter. I think he's played 10 events this year and he's had two like really solid first rounds, and I'm giving him Augusta because I think he was 5 back, but he was very much in that golf tournament. His odds got better, I believe, after round one. I think he was 50 or one entering, or I think it was 45 to one going into the second round, and then he gave that one away. But if you throw out Augusta, you'd have to go all the way back to Pebble to find a really good first round. I think he shot 66. Yeah, I mean you can't feel anything Thursday night, Bob, because he's not done, but as Dan says, it's like Friday has to be the round of the day for the field to get back in the tournament.
Yeah, and
It's just
even
a tough ask.
And there's no juice on Friday. It's the
No.
same as Thursday, if
And
not
even
worse.
Augusta, 5 back, firmly in the golf tournament if
Yeah.
you're any other golfer. But do you like Spieth's not really a chaser. Like
No,
he's
he played terrible
like
Friday at Augusta.
his winning tournaments, the how many there are in the last 5 years.
How many?
It's I mean, he's been ahead really for
Right.
most of the week.
Which I mean,
Um
the only one I think you could consider a chase is RBC. Like he started pretty slow in 22 and then
yeah.
had a really nice weekend and got lucky that the field didn't go anywhere and ended up at what 12 or 13 and got into a playoff. Um, I think that has to be the goal for Doral is get a little rest, get some work in, and figure out a way to like, I guess, yeah, figure out a way to be inside the top 12 after the first day and have a little juice and momentum going into Friday. Because there's absolutely nothing is being carried over between days, between tournaments in terms of momentum, in terms of scoring. It's all this like, as you're saying, trying to hit the range shots instead of hitting them 98% perfect, hitting them 99% perfect. But the scoring
Heath
isn't
could not
reflecting any of
Heath
that.
could not go to the range for the next 2 weeks, show up to Doral, and like he'd be able to figure it out if he just teed off. Like he's a professional golfer. Like it might not be great, but he'd be able to figure it out.
You'd
Like
hope so.
I think that
I think his brain might be broken in that regard, though. It might be so mechanically oriented
yeah.
days that it's like, no, I need to have some sort of feel. I need to have, here's what we're working on. I need to have confidence in, okay, mechanic, the take back felt good, and I know it's good because it's mechanically good. Not like I'm just gonna jump out there and play. So I think if he did that, we'd be in a bit of a better
A
spot.
lot
But
of
I agree.
information to fit into a brain.
Yes.
We like information.
Yeah. I mean,
He'll putt well at
He,
Doral. I mean,
yeah, he likes.
we'll
he
preview
does putt
Doral,
well
but
in
he'll
Florida.
putt well at Doral. But will the ball striking return? And it's
It's just like I just think Spieth looks. Like, I think Spieth makes a swing and judges the success of the swing based on whatever number he sees on the track, man.
yeah, he's a big GC quad trackman guy. He's a
Yeah.
range rat. I mean, likes the range. We'll say it. Augusta didn't hit the range as much. It was interesting though.
He could be a great TGL
Um,
champion.
yes, it's interesting though. The range tracker, and you hate to give a shout out to Mr. Blake. Shout out to Mr. Blake. Um, he saw it
hate
on
to
the
give a
range.
shout
You hate to give a shout out to Blake, but it's pretty interesting, man. If you're a wagering man, if Spieth is over like 80 balls, give or take, before a round, probably not good. He hit 80, what was it, Friday, I think, because we were hoping he'd fix it. Or it might have been Thursday, actually. I have to go back and look, but I think he hit 80 balls one of those mornings. And Blake was, of course, doesn't have much of a life, but he was, checking the range tracker, and there were some wide misses. And he comes in the chat as he always does, nothing better to do. Jordan's hitting it all over the place, and we were like, it's just the rain session, and it certainly carried over. I mean, I think Spieth likes to hit about 55 balls. He hit 80 that morning, and it was grim. It was ugly. The driver was terrible. I don't know what happened to the driver this week, guys. The off the tee play went down the hill again. And he got unlucky, as we kind of said, but I mean, he
Tight
made,
windows, Mr. Carpenter.
yeah, as we lose him. But yeah, the windows were tight. They weren't being
Between those
hit.
trees, might have got a little scared.
Yes, definitely got scared as the audio comes back into play. I think we lost you for a second, Bob. But yeah, I don't know what the heck
Oh yeah,
happened.
yeah. It said my internet was unstable. Am I good now?
You're perfectly stable. The driver not stable.
No.
I do not know what happened, and the approach play worries me. We'll see in Doral. I know you guys, as I kind of said earlier, probably a little more confident than I am. Saturday, he bounced back. What the hell happened on Sunday? It's like, where was the response? And I get it. He can have a bad week, but man, we've seen this with the
Was
ball
Sunday,
striking before. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Sunday I thought was decent until the last like 6 holes.
Yeah, throw in the towel, maybe.
Like the wedges were, I mean, you make 5 birdies on a side, you have to hit some pretty good wedge shots. But it's like almost like he got a bad bounce, I thought, on what hole was that? 11, it was downwind,
Numbers.
and there was it was 100 yards like lob wedge basically. And this thing just, these greens have been so firm, you sort of expect one hop check. This thing lands and goes backwards like 2 inches. He can't believe it, misses the putt. And from there, I don't think a good iron shot was hit the rest of the day. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those things. I think the approach play, it may not be elite, but I think the floor with it is pretty high. And you can imagine he'll be hitting hundreds of balls this next week. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. Could be diaper duty
I
this week.
I think it is important to note that I really don't think people are panicking about the short game enough,
Oh, it sucks.
because there might be one. I mean, there aren't many to count. There's only 13. But has Spieth ever won a golf tournament without chipping it well? Like, that is his thing.
No.
Like, you don't like Jordan Spieth isn't. He could get away with the Spiethy misses where he hits a wild drive or a terrible iron shot, because he can always steal one back around the greens. And right now he's giving them to the field around the greens. And that's something that even in 2020, like 2020, and 2020 was grim. I mean, it's like those days were grim. He was finding ways to still make great up and downs. The short game really didn't leave him until the wrist, which makes sense. But again, I fear that he thinks that the short game's a little better than it is, and he's just not. He's spending more time hitting irons than he is chipping.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's ultimately what it is like the time is being put into um certain parts of the game, and the standard chip shots don't get enough attention. And that's really, it's not the hard shots. I don't feel that worried about. Maybe part of that
No,
is just like there's
but
no
like,
expectation for it to be great, but they're usually still like, shoot, that was pretty darn good from there.
but you don't even have to be a professional golfer to get some of these shots up and down at a consistent rate with just enough repetition.
No, I think that, yeah, that's exactly kind of what I'm agreeing with your,
You know, I think, yeah, we're completely on the same page. I just think that it's, again, I think he's looking to perfect the full swing way more than he needs to.
I agree. That's a good take. I think it still needs a lot of work, or it's not as close as I think some of the numbers might suggest it is.
I
And I
agree.
think you see that as the round kind of goes on. Like as part of the reason these rounds don't finish strong is because it's almost like the bandage is slowly falling off at the end and there's a loose swing or two. Or just a lack of like confidence to finish it off. Um, so I agree. I think this has been a pretty productive analysis of where we're at, which is all to say too. And I know it's been mostly negative. It's like I don't there is still a path in which some of this flips, and we're talking about a pretty good rest of the season. Like
Absolutely.
even though the T12s aren't fun and some of the play is just so frustrating, it's like the flip side to it is, man, he plays 18 holes instead of 14 holes each round. And you're talking like there's some really good rounds in that bag.
Of
Um,
course.
just about drawing them out and putting them together and getting a taste of contention. I think that's got to be, who knows how good of a course fit Doral is going to be, but I think just a hot start, a fast start would be I don't know if settle things down a little bit, but just like give a little confidence and boost of energy to a season that's felt a little,
And he could be
you know,
one special handshake away from flipping everything around.
that's well said.
Tough to deny
So,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good synopsis. I think I mean, we're at the halfway point basically. I mean, I think we got a couple signature events left that'll play. That being the Cadillac and the Travelers. Probably
yeah, I
won't see
think to
him at
this point,
Truist.
I think it's just a dead C. I think he's an average golfer.
I think that's
Yeah.
Like you
okay.
can't really give him any worse. There's too much good going on, but I don't think you give him any better with the lack of contention.
No, I think that's pretty fair. But yeah, just Dan's point. I mean, we got like 12 events left, plenty of time. I mean, I think he set a nice floor in these first half of the year, and it's just
Yeah.
raised the ceiling a little bit. I
And
am,
hit it.
yeah, I don't know. I mentioned I think the second half of the season, the driver gets more important than it was the first half, which has me a little bit worried.
Yeah.
Um, you get to some of these tracks in the Northeast, you think Memorial, I mean, even Travelers, not a big ballpark. That rough gets thick there, as you know, Bob. Drivers got to improve. And yeah, I guess I didn't really get to mention the short game that much besides saying it stinks. Wasn't good at Augusta either. I mean, he had a chip in on 13 that really helped his numbers. You throw that out, it was
Ugh.
not very good. It wasn't good at Valero. It wasn't good at the Masters. It wasn't good this week. And, you know, the stats are what they are. He's on pace for his second worst year around the green of his pro career, only behind 24. I mean, I've said it. I worry that he's just never going to be the same player again around the greens because of the wrist. I don't. I think I mentioned the bunker stat to you a while ago, Bob, and I think more than anything, the wrist affects that. It's not to say he's going into bunker shots with like tentativeness because of the wrist, but I mean, you just follow the numbers. It's just the short game has not been
It's a scare. It's a scare.
very good since 24. I mean, it was good in 23, but it's kind of slowly went downhill since 24. And I mean, the good news is, the approach game is just getting to a point where he doesn't need to use the short game as much. But you said it, Bob. I mean, does he ever win when the short game doesn't need to work a little bit? And the answer is no.
Yeah.
So that's cause for concern. But I think this has been a good, productive discussion. I mean, there's obviously some negatives, but we got 12 events left.
Yeah.
Jordan's won a few of them, and excited to get back to Doral and preview that next week. I think speaking for all three of us, when we got the 2026 schedule, that was one we were really looking forward to. Wouldn't know if we'd be playing because signature event. Didn't know if our guy would get in, but shout out to the folks at Cadillac for the sponsors exemption. I don't know if he's going to be in on his own number. He might be. I don't. Doesn't matter really, but excited to preview it next week. I think that's obviously a pretty big event, and it should be fun to
The
watch.
presidential exemption is much appreciated.
Yes,
I think he's close. He's like right around the top 10 of guys that aren't exempt in FedEx Cup points for it's not the Aon Swing 5. Is it the Aon Next 10 or something?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Aon.
But yeah, Aon
Great
is a
sponsor.
reasonable company. Yes. So he may be in on his own, but we'll see. It'll be, regardless, very much looking forward to Doral. Week off, I think, will be nice. He's not playing Truist, so it'll actually be 2 weeks off in sort of 3 tournaments, which who knows if that's good, but it'll be a change of the pace from 3 weeks on through 1 week off, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. So
Truist seems unlikely. I haven't completely ruled it out. I have floated the idea. I think that both of you, he got an exemption into it last year. Does he think that he needs to repay that due and go play it? I don't know. I don't think
Hopefully
so.
not. You didn't pay much to him last year.
No, he did. No, he did not. But
different.
Didn't pay much to us either.
would you guys rather see him play the Truist or the Byron Nelson?
Wow. Pretty easy.
I mean,
I'd rather see him play the Byron Nelson personally.
I mean, I'd say Truist, but
I don't really have much of an interest of watching him try and get around Quill.
Yeah, let's run away from the challenge that is Quail Hollow and go play the 20. Well, might not be 25 under this year because they had a big redesign. Apparently, the greens are insane at Craig Ranch. Waiting for the new scorecard for that event. Should be a pretty
it
beefy
could be.
golf course.
He's always played well there. That could be a good spot for him to win in the without Scheffler market.
Yeah, why not? Let's go win the Byron Nelson of all events. Big game hunter.
So the other thing about that is like talk about winning. Like we're further away from that than we were entering the 3-week stretch. I think, which is like the ultimate like disappointing part of Valero Masters Heritage stretch is like you go into it off of 2 T11s in Florida. You're like, all right, wanted contention there, didn't get it, but at least he's playing pretty well. And we got nowhere close to winning a golf tournament these past 3 weeks, and I feel now worse about that probability happening this season, not because like the peaks aren't high enough, but because the maintained like stretches are just not there. And we now have a pretty decent sample size of like you just can't put 18 holes together, let alone 36, let alone 54, let alone 72.
Yeah, but much needed off week for the mental health
of the podcast.
Of ours, yes.
Podcast. Yes. Nice that there will be no Eagles this week.
Yeah.
Come on.
But overall, it's I just again, there's one positive about the wet concrete warrior is the wet concrete could mold something beautiful next time we see it. So
The putter is
True.
very much wet concrete. I think the swing is closer to semi-dry, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
A putter, which is hilarious because a putter being wet concrete is like how you win golf tournaments.
yeah, completely.
But just to not, we talked about it in the preview. Jordan, I think you said like, what does he have to be to win this week?
Oh
Or,
boy.
like, would you
You're
sign
right.
for top 10 in putting? I think
Oh,
Bob and I were like,
gee.
I think
Oh,
we
and he
need to be
brutally
fit.
was.
And he was first. He was first in putting. And it's a T33 backdoor Rory
That's
style. Like,
the
are you
brand,
kidding me?
man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
But I
well,
can't wait to
congrats
do
to
this
no
all over
voters.
again, man. This
Well,
guy's the best.
Yeah,
on
real
to
fun.
the Trump.
On to the Trump.
Yes. Thank you for
Great sponsor. Great sponsor, Cadillac. They were a
the
sponsor.
greatest
They're back
sponsor.
now.
Yes.
He'll be there. He'll be there, whether you like him or not. He'll be there.
Is it possible Mr. DeChambeau?
We were talking presidential exemption. I mean,
That would be an all-time exemption.
It would.
This patriot an exemption. That would
don't forget DJ.
or DJ, yes.
Forget DJ.
I mean, it's not the Trump at Doral without DJ and Paulina on property.
Correct.
Yeah.
Proud
true.
Florida residents. But
DJ seems like someone who, when Liv's demise happens, might just retire.
I think he could. It would, yeah. DJ's an interesting case. Just play the four majors every year if he's still in them. Just play the Masters and like quietly T20.
Honorary starter.
Yeah, no, exactly. One more thing before we go, because I know the fans love it, but triple double, it got tight again.
yes.
The Dan Camp was sure to be out of the running and is now firmly back in the tournament, thanks to Fitzpatrick and Scheffler. So
It really was a had to go week from Dan, and he, unlike the player we cover, Dan makes the big putts on Sunday,
I trust.
and his back was against the wall, and he thrusted.
Yeah, it was a good. I feel like there's so many times in my triple double career that I've picked the winner the week before they win. And I was about to do that with Fitzpatrick again, but no. We went with Fitz, the good Englishman. And of course, Scheffler not like winning is kind of tough, but what are you gonna do about it? You'll take the 2.1 out of a Scheffler use.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we both hit Scheffler back-to-back weeks for solo seconds, which is
Solo second. Yeah.
pretty funny.
Scheffler, he's incredible. What a golfer he is. He played in the hard wave, beat Spieth the hard part of Sunday, beat Spieth by 2, made birdies on 16 and 15 and 16, and then got it up and down and forced a playoff on 18. And probably would have gotten it up and in the playoff had Fitzpatrick not made that putt. So yeah. Stupidly good. I'm about to go check his data golf right now just to like look at how it should be. But
How it could be. Never been
Standard.
like that. The standard. Thanks for that. But yeah, I think that's all we got. You got anything else, fellas? No. Alrighty.
no,
Well,
pump for
we'll
Discussion.
Pump for Doral. We'll be signing off for now, and we'll see you guys in a week time for the Cadillac Championship.
the Trump.
Take care.
Peace.